61. Chapter 11. Quarters. Quarterfinals begin in 30 minutes. Whoever wins the finals goes on to play Magnus. That might be you, Karajakan, Bob stepping into it. Dyer, looks like you and me in the quarters. Bob injecting barnyard cockiness. I don't like to say good luck, but good luck, you'll need it. If I correctly remember Dyer. I beat you in Vienna 3 years ago, Sergei recounters. Ah yes, Vienna, such a gorgeous city. I must have lost my edge in the sheer serenity of the moment. As I recall, it was a dull match, so I blundered my rook in the end game. Hey, shit happens. Good luck, Dyer. Sergei pats Bob on the shoulder, then joins the other Eastern European players in what looked like a huddle. Hikaru pointing over, look at that, they have Gasparov coaching them, is that even fair? Sure, why not? Magnus not impressed. Magnus, weren't you just 10 years old when you first played him? You frustrated him into a draw. 62. Ingrid rejoins the group. You guys are too funny. You look like two packs of wolves standing off each other deciding who gets to go in for the prize kill. Susan steps in, stealing their attentions. Ingrid, you and Hikaru will be duking it out today. Would you like to share any comments for our listening audience? They would love to hear your opinion. Thank you, Susan, and thank you for this opportunity today. I would love for your audience to know that I plan to make it all the way to the finals, then face off for the championship with my dear friend Magnus Carlsen. That is great, Ingrid. We will be looking forward to that. Well, how about you, Hikaru? Can you share anything about your planned strategy playing against Ingrid? Yes, of course. Keep your eyes on the board, Hikaru. That's my strategy. Hikaru stones a straight face. Chuckles circulate. Now, Mr. Dyer, Sergei Karajakan said earlier today that he will flatten you like a steamroller. What is your response? Bob shimmering, I already wished him good luck. Well, that should do it, folks. Good luck to you all. Magnus, would you care to join us in the booth to give us your move-by-move play-by-play analysis? I would be happy to, Susan. Magnus leans in and whispers to Ingrid, seeking her positive affirmation, remember what I told you about Hikaru. 63. I got it, Magnus. He is weak in his opening game, and can be fuddled if I play outside his familiar parameters. Ingrid hushes back. Magnus follows Susan up to the announcer's booth. Ingrid cracks her knuckles, giving Hikaru a nod, then enters the arena. Bob looks over towards the pack of Russians, seeing that 3 of them had been staring him down. Sergei, being one of them, sends Bob a clear gesture, finger across the throat. Let the battles begin. All players were set firmly into their positions. Magnus, do you see any clear advantage that Ingrid may have over Hikaru? Yes. Ingrid has a sixth sense. She can read other players' moves before they are played. Her hair acts like an antenna, and that's why she grows it so long. Well, alrighty then. You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen, Ingrid is a psychic. Wow, let your hair grow long, ladies. Thank you, Magnus, for that insight. Now back to the action. Bob scans across to the 3 other tables, first looking over to Hikaru and Ingrid's table, which was returned with a wink and a thumbs up. Table 2 was sure to be a watcher. Fabiano Caruana, ranked number 2, was facing off with the number 6 seed Levon Aronian. They had heralded in an historical performance in Brussels during the semifinals last year. 64. Bob then scans the gallery and immediately centers on Sophie, standing in the middle of the back row. Sitting next to her was an older gentleman wearing a Russian-flavored outfit, piercing his glare down upon him. It was unnerving. Sophie sharing the same focal point, but it was the same blank stare. God knows what she is even capable of, never mind that creepy old guy. He glances back towards the board and notices that his opponent had been following his pan, looking up towards the old man as well, both drawing back onto each other's glare in unison. The floor manager pushes the button, starting their timer. Bob opens with Queen's Bishop's pawn to c4. Sergei responds with Queen's pawn to d5. An aggressive opening, and an immediate challenge from the feisty Russian arrived sooner than had been expected. Bob looks up to the commentator booth to see Magnus sending him a nod as if to say, take the pawn. Bob, stick to your game, you are reading way too much into a simple gesture. Bob responds with King's pawn e3. Sergei takes first blood, removing Bob's c4 pawn. Bob takes back with Bishop. Material development was Sergei's normal entrance into any match, but this time he wanted to send a clear message. Yankee go home. 65. As the game advanced into the middle, the field of carnage laid in waste reminiscent of a battlefield where warriors showed no mercy or remorse. Bob begins to feel a strange burning in the back of his neck, and tries massaging it with his left hand, but was unable to cool the flame. He then looks over to Ingrid's table, seeing that she was close to putting Hikaru to bed. Once she gained Bob's attention, she points with her forehead up. Bob knew exactly where she was directing him, to the old man in the black coat, as he seemed to be in some bizarre trance, beaming down onto him sparks of deadly plagues. "Excuse me, floor manager." Bob barks out. "Yes, Mr. Dyer." "Stop the clock, I have a protest." "Sir, this is highly unusual, what is the problem?" "The man in the black coat in the back row, next to the robot, is psychically trying to steal my focus." Bob stands up and points to the culprit. Everyone turns to look. All eyes were now on the man in the black coat. The crowd began into murmur, then grows into a rumble. The man in the black coat, unflinching with even the hundreds of eyes upon him, removed a pair of dark sunglasses from his vest pocket. He sets them in place, then walks down and out from the bleachers and exits the premises. 66. Bob looks to Ingrid, Ingrid looks to Bob, Magnus looks down at them both. Susan grabs the microphone. "Ladies and gentlemen, we will be right back after this commercial break." The floor manager calls an abrupt halt to the games, then disables the time clocks. The president of the International Chess Federation, Arkady Dvorkovich, calls for all managers and Robert Dyer to meet in private council. The chief floor manager announces, play has been suspended until further notice. Magnus joins up with Bob and Ingrid in a huddle to discuss what had just happened. "I felt it too, Bobby, he penetrated your aura. I felt it the moment he broke through. He is working with the Russians. He's a Soviet spy trained in remote viewing and mind control." Magnus offers up his 2 cents worth. "I have seen him at several other tournaments. His presence always seemed a little strange and out of place. He never really seemed interested in the games, just being there. I never saw him as a threat. I need to get into this meeting. Ingrid, would you join me? I may need your help explaining this to the commissioners." "Yes, go with him, Ingrid, he needs you now." Magnus sends her off with a gentle push. Bob turns away, takes a deep breath, then grabs Ingrid by the hand as they walk side by side into this sure to be fateful inquisition. "Mr. Dyer, Miss Orsic, please come and sit down," directs Dvorkovich. 67. "Mr. Dyer, your claims are sincere, I pray for your sake. These are profoundly serious and quite frankly absurd allegations for anyone to make. We believe that you have manifested this outlandish claim since you were about to lose your match. You panicked, then sought to create an opportunity for to regroup during a delayed suspension. As a means of last resort with nefarious intentions, you are attempting to unravel your opponent's advantage by pulling the fire alarm. Konstantin Kiselev, the ICF's vice president, injects, Mr. Dyer, this is an old trick. We are quite surprised that you would resort to such a foolish escape route as this." Ingrid was the one starting to boil this time. Bob could see the serpent rising from inside her. "Mr. Dyer, we cannot allow for this type of behavior, therefore we have already made our decision to disqualify you from." Gentlemen, please may I have the floor for a moment if you would be so kind. I am sure that it is merely coincidence that you are both Russian natives, and Bob is currently matched with one of your fellow comrades. I am also sure that it is merely coincidence you have both placed large wagers on these matches with your Russian mafia bookies. What is your bookie's name again, El President? Oh yeah. Zurab, is it? Ingrid pierces. And you over there, Igor. What is your bookie's name again? Quite sure they call him Willie, am I right? She cuts. Oh yeah, he told me to tell you to pay up, or your nephew Ivan gets it in the head this coming Friday, she slashes. Shall I start naming mistresses, gentlemen? This is all being recorded on candid camera, isn't it? She plunges. 68. Bob sat up in a state of bewildered ecstasy. The directors fell into a catatonic state of suspended awe and panic. Ingrid stood and told them what was about to happen next. Bob Dyer is going to resume his place at the table. You will be telling your Rusky Bear bloodhounds to back off. We are going to finish this tournament, gentlemen, with tradition of integrity intact. Honor and humility will be displayed from here on out. Come on, Bobby, we still have some chess to play. Grabbing Bob by the hand, she leads him back into the arena. Holy Judgment Day, Ingrid, your hair was sparkling like a field of fireflies. They know that everything you said is true. You are a lightning rod.